We have details from last night's town council meeting on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, December 16th, 2017. I'm Sarah Mannel. Town Council elects Councilor Eric Steinhilber as president of the council during its meeting Thursday night. Councilor Steinhilber urged the council to support him as president before the vote.
Just want to say it's an honor to be nominated. It's been an honor to serve as vice president this past year. I very much would look forward to the opportunity to continue in the leadership. I've said a few times that we're not always going to vote 13-0, but we certainly all love this town and want it to be the best it can possibly be. And what I would like to, continue to bring in the leadership is a unity of purpose. That's why we're here, for the town of Barnstable and everyone that lives in it. And I look forward, if given the opportunity, to work collaboratively with each and every one of you. I have a great deal of respect for everyone here. We have a lot of issues to address: housing, homelessness, addiction, wastewater. We got the water well issue we need to take care of, and economic development, looking into zoning and regulations and getting those taken care of so that we can be streamlined and create more new growth and tackle these issues that we've been discussing over this past year. So I ask for your support. Again, it's been a pleasure to serve in the leadership, and I hope to continue to do that next year. Thank you very much.
Councilor Jennifer Cullum ran against Steinhilber for the top post. Cullum urged her fellow councilors to support her bid.
Just a couple of things that I'd like to say about the process. I'll quote Jimmy Crocker, who's going to be our VP, on a couple of things. The first one is he's always been the one to say to me, everyone has a right to run. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Everyone has a right to throw their hat in the ring, whether or not they win or not. And it takes a certain amount of chutzpah to do that, I believe. And then the second thing he said was something just a few weeks ago, which is basically anybody on the dais can do this job. This doesn't make anybody anybody's boss. This is an administrative position, and I think it's really important to keep that in mind. You can make it a full-time position, or you can keep it as a part-time position, and I think it's important to note that. I will say that there were 2 requests made of me to take my hat out of the ring, which is really disappointing to me on a couple of levels, because I believe I have the right to run, and just because I feel like that really undermines the whole democratic process by removing choice. I think the idea of United Council is a nice idea. I like the idea of United Council. However, my constituents didn't elect me to this position to always be in a united front. They elected me to this position to bring their voice to town affairs and to talk about important things that may not be agreeable or that may be difficult to confront. And that's what I believe I do on a pretty regular basis in my job and in my role here. So, that said, we're not meant to always agree. I completely agree with that. But we are meant to be a deliberative body. And I believe that I bring that to this position, and I believe I've done a lot. I think everybody knows what I've accomplished as a counselor and what I continue to do. So tomorrow will come, the vote will happen, tomorrow will come, I'll be the same counselor I was yesterday. So, and a week from now, I'll be the same counselor. I'll just be working hard for the people of Barnstable, and I think we all have that in common up here, so thank you.
Ultimately, the council voted 9-5 to elect Councilor Eric Steinhilber as president. The council votes to support a transfer order of $15,000 from the police department's reserves for boat repairs and maintenance. Chief McDonald talked about the need for those funds during this week's meeting.
The police department has 2 patrol boats, a 21-foot Nauset that primarily patrols Lake Wequaquet and a 25-foot Regulator that primarily patrols Nantucket Sound. We did have a third boat, a 25-foot Seacraft. About 2 years ago, we had some serious mechanical issues with the engines. Both engines had to be replaced on it. But because of the lack of use, we decided to get rid of the boat. We had the boat declared surplus through the town manager's office, and the boat was subsequently auctioned off. We got $18,850 for it. The 21-foot Nauset is a 2001 boat. Again, it primarily patrols Lake Wequaca, but it does have a trailer, and we do use it on the north side. It is in badly need of a new engine. It currently has a Mercury 115 horsepower. We're looking to upgrade that to a 150 Yamaha four-stroke engine, and we're looking for the request of $15,300 to make the necessary repairs, and that includes the engine, all labor, and parts.
The council also voted to accept a $9,000 grant for traffic enforcement. McDonald told the council how that grant will be used.
The department has been awarded a grant in the amount of $9,000 to participate in the 3 traffic enforcement mobilizations. The grant helps us to raise awareness of both traffic safety challenges involving drinking and driving, as well as the importance of seatbelt usage. There will be 3 enforcements: the click it and ticket, which will cost approximately $3,000, and there will be 2 drive sober or get pulled over, or the OUI patrols, for approximately $6,000. The fiscal impact: there is a required match that will be satisfied using currently allocated department resources and in-kind matches in the form of the marked police cruisers. Thank you.
Highline Cruises donated 6 doorway metal detectors to the town of Barnstable. Chief McDonald urged the council to accept that gift.
Thank you, Madam President. The police department and DPW are currently conducting a security assessment and planning security upgrades of both this building and the school administration building. And during all of our meetings and planning events, the topic of metal detectors has always come up. But there is nothing concrete or where we're actually going to put these machines as key entrances at both this building, school administration building, or the police department, or perhaps the school. But the opportunity presented itself from Highline, where they have 6 surplus machines that are brand new. They are still in boxes, and they have a value of approximately $5,000. Because of the docks, because of the boats, the machines they bought turned out to be impractical for their usage, and they want to donate them to the town of Barnstable, to the police department, to be used in the future.
And the council voted unanimously to accept the gift of those metal detectors. The council voted to allow the commercial harvest of razor clams in certain areas of Barnstable Harbor. Town Manager Mark Ells talked about the proposal and why it's necessary.
Because of the abundance of razor clams in Barnstable Harbor and the observation and reports of sporadic populations dying off due to unknown causes, the town established under an emergency amendment to our shellfish rules and regulations a provision which allows for the commercial harvest of razor clams in certain areas midsection of Barnstable Harbor. This area is normally closed to commercial shellfish or fishing. Emergency provisions are good for 60 days. This one begins October 2016 and ended December 10th, 2016. There is still a large population of these clams, which the recreational shell fishery alone will not be able to harvest before the razor clams die off. The approved amendment would allow for, with little interruption, the continued commercial harvest of razor clams in the midsection of Barnstable Harbor from December 15th, 2016 until December 30th, 2017, without repeatedly getting 60-day extensions for the noted time frame.
The council voted unanimously to allow for the temporary commercial harvest of razor clams in Barnstable Harbor. Despite all the business that took place during this week's council meeting, the group managed to bring in a little bit of holiday cheer with a performance by the Barnstable High School Chamber Choir. We're going to end the show today with a little portion of that performance. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy